Hello and welcome to the second episode of Let's Play History. As you can see, Desmond and his companions are just entering the temple, so let's get right to it. Basically, a temple is a place that was known before, like old churches or old monuments, but in Assassin's Creed they are vaults for the artifacts of Eden, the pieces of Eden, and they can only be opened with the help of the pieces of Eden. Yeah, you can see Desmond opening the door with the apple of Eden. And to be honest, I don't know why they put the dots between. I think we're here. And yeah, sliding down, you can see the walls glowing magically. So I realize I don't need that stick anymore. And going further down, yeah, I know I am pretty sure that this temple is located in Italy, but yeah, must be in Italy. And these temples generally have much to do with, you know, some crazy magic. You see that glowing glass piece. Oh, it's not glass, seems like metal. And it's a key. And now enjoy the epic music. Also, the temples and generally speaking Assassin's Creed has a lot to do with symbolism, so watch out for mathematical symbols and symbols of the Greek mythology, whatever you can find. They're using a lot of common symbols. What you can see right here is a very good visualization of the bleeding effect, which is the side effect of using the animus. Basically, because Desmond uses the animus so frequently, he imagines in the real world that he was actually in the animus. He mistakes his own memories with the memories of his ancestors.
Do you hear us?
Yeah.
And yeah,
What
sometimes
The
he
temple triggered a bleeding effect.
passes
You collapsed
out.
and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking
So the
for,
lady
by the way.
who was speaking to
It's a key.
Desmond right
There's
the
no idea
moment
where it
before
is, though.
before he passed out was
Yes, that's why she
Juno,
triggered the bleeding effect.
who was in
She-
the Roman mythology, was
Juno,
the wife
Dad.
of
She's
Jupiter.
talking to me.
Okay, Desmond. While you were visiting
And
Constantinople,
let's do some
we
training.
picked up a software update for the Animus.
This is
I'd like to
rather
run a
boring, I
couple of
know,
quick
but
tests,
I
make
thought
sure there aren't any major
I'd
issues.
upload it anyway.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the marker over there.
So that you can get, I don't know if you don't know anything about the Animus, it's like the Matrix. It's a training program. You can spawn or build anything inside of it. Also, you can
Okay,
create
Desmond.
these
Let's practice climbing on
obstacle
these
courses.
objects.
And since climbing is really important in Assassin's Creed, you need to get a short tutorial in the game. And I think they've done it quite well.
run your way through this little obstacle course.
This is something that's really fun. I remember in Assassin's Creed 2, I used to just jump on the top of on the rooftops
That's a constraint.
through Venice.
These are optional
Just,
objectives
at
that
night.
raise your synchronization
Was really
rate.
cool.
All right, Desmond. Follow the on-screen instructions and kill the
free
2
running.
Templars.
Assassinations, big part of the game. Silent assassinations. And yeah, I failed this one because I didn't want to air assassinate him. I wanted to see if how Desmond was going to kill the second guy if we didn't air assassinate him. And I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. Okay, just look what happens. See what happens. Yeah, we got him. Can jump. And then now instead of killing him, or
All you have
he
to do
cuddles
here
him.
is jump the gap.
And that should solve the problem. I don't understand why you would cuddle this Templar. And to be honest, I realized that I couldn't make the jump, so I tried to jump on the nearer windows, but it was impossible. So you have to try it and then fall. So what I really like is that you jump into the story, literally.
Synchronization levels look good now. We should be
Really
able to
cool.
build the world. Time to
Okay,
find out
without
what the
knowing
temple
anything,
wants
without
from you.
knowing the name of these clothes, we can tell that this man looks rather rich. He's rather a nobleman. And for example, you can tell by the silk, it looks like silk cape. I don't know either what to call it. That black thing. And his hat.
Yes, fine.
And his long
I'm
hair.
just preoccupied. That's all.
It's his own hair. Surprisingly. He's not wearing a
Thank you.
toupee.
Where shall I retrieve you once you're done?
Part of
Master
the opera
Birch.
house.
So
Be
there are
quick
a lot
about
of
it.
names, and
Don't expect to be here
if
long.
you don't want to make the
bring
same
around
mistake
the
as I have, don't Google them. Because I thought maybe those were personalities that were there in real life, and I thought, hey, I should tell them everything about Reginald Birch and Haytham Kenway, but then I found out things that I didn't want to find out. Not yet. So you can see me browsing through the pause menu. I think that the developers of these games did a very good job inventing or implementing the Animus database, because if you like, you can read the entries. They are not always 100% correct from my experience, but they're really good help. But you also get to experience during the game when you're playing, and there are always these database new entries popping up. You don't want to interrupt your gaming experience. So that's why I'm doing this Let's Play history, and that's why I'm going to speak about the entries. I'm going to tell you something about the entries, and even when you're watching this commentary, you won't have to read them. But if you like, you can. So the first one is about Ezio Auditore da Firenze. He was an Italian master assassin. He was from Florence, which is also in his name. If you ever wondered what da Firenze means, from Florence is what it means, nothing more. So before his assassin times, he was kind of a playboy. Yeah, he traveled through Italy and also he lived for some time in Constantinople, in the Ottoman Empire, and he was always a respectable master assassin, from what I know. Passing on to Altair, he had a very rough youth. He was blinded under the doctrine of the Assassin Order. I'd like to say, you could say that the Assassin Order was also corrupted for some time, and Altair fixed this. At least he tried. He had to pay a very high price. He was also very important. He lived and grew up in Masyaf, which is one of the most important castles located in today's Syria. And Altair's history is divided into the first Assassin's Creed game and in Assassin's Creed Revelations, because in the first game, you know, they first had the idea of doing something like that, and they were actually presenting his entire life. His story was not to be continued. But then when Ubisoft saw that it was such a huge success, I believe they decided to implement Altair's history into Assassin's Creed Revelations, giving Altair and Ezio a very intimate relation. So they were almost friends. Two great master assassins who fought for freedom and for truth mostly, since the motto of the assassins is we work in the dark to serve the light, we are assassins. You can see that this metaphor, the light, it has always been. I was talking about symbols before, and light has always been a symbol or a metaphor for science and knowledge, enlightenment.